Facebook, good morning, and welcome to the Recipe Renovator Kitchen. I'm Stephanie Weaver. I'm a health and wellness coach and a food blogger. I write the Recipe Renovator blog, and I have a book coming out in February called The Migraine Relief Plan. And today I'm going to be sharing a wonderful, refreshing summer salad, a raw summer salad, that I think you're going to really enjoy. Even if you think you don't like beets, this might be a great introduction to adding some beets into your life. They happen to be a favorite of mine. So you'll find this recipe on reciperenovator.com if you search in the archives, either using the word beet, or if you search under salads, you'll find it was one of the very first recipes I ever posted, and it actually was inspired by a recipe from a friend of mine's mother, and she showed us the salad, and I just thought the flavor combination was phenomenal, so I wanted to share it with you today because it's August, it's warm. Thankfully it hasn't been super hot in San Diego yet, but but people don't want to cook in the summer. So I'm starting with a little bit of ginger, and what I do with my ginger, I know a lot of people peel their ginger, and it's fine to do that, but it's kind of finicky to do that. So what I normally do is wash the entire root and let it air dry, and then I just can grate it straight that way and don't have to worry about it. So I'm using a fine grater. You can also use a box grater like this. I think this was my grandmother's. You can see it's a little worse for wear, but it still works great. And this is a nifty little grater combo that I got at IKEA a few years back. I have no idea if they still sell it. But you're going to get, you want about a tablespoon of ginger, which does take a little bit of time to do. So feel free to ask me questions. And if you're just joining us, I'm Stephanie Weaver. I'm making a raw beet and carrot salad. I'm the author of the upcoming Migraine Relief Plan, and I write the Recipe Renovator blog. So let me see how we're doing on our ginger situation here. Okay, I'm probably not super close to a tablespoon, which is what you need, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. So this is maybe not quite half a tablespoon. What's nice about this particular grater or grater with this style is it also catches the ginger juice, which is super refreshing to add. You don't want to overdo it because it can be a little strong, but that should be good enough for a demonstration. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape this using the back side of my knife, not the sharp knife blade, because you don't ever want to scrape anything with a big sharp knife because that's how you dull your knife. Okay, so that should be pretty good. We should be good on our ginger. And next what I'm going to do is prep my 3 vegetables. So you can make this in really any ratio. So if you want to put in 2 carrots, you can do that. All I did was I scrubbed my carrot. I'm taking just the ends off of the carrot. And this is a golden beet, so you can use regular red beets. I saw these in the store at Whole Foods, and I was just really inspired, and I thought, oh man, I haven't made that beet salad in such a long time, and it's an unusual salad, so I wanted to share it with you guys. And the third main ingredient is a green apple, and this is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen, my OXO apple corer. It's just such a great little tool because it just whips right through there, gets the core out in super neat fashion. Sometimes, the apples aren't always really even, so sometimes you have to go in and just pull a little bit more of it out. But having this grated, this should be fine. Okay, so the ingredients are carrot, this is a golden beet, and a green apple, and fresh ginger, and then I'm going to show you what else goes into it as soon as I do the noisy part, which is just getting these guys grated up. So we're going to start with our that was the noisy part. This is a Cuisinart 14-cup food processor, in case you're wondering what I'm using here. And what I'm going to do is just start scraping my little bits and pieces into my serving bowl. And I had the, so almost every food processor pretty much comes with one of these, which is a grating disc. So you just put the grating disc in there. I always want to capture everything I possibly can. I never like to waste food. So I always clean this off, make sure that I've got everything off of there. And then we've got all of our nice shredded or grated fruit and vegetables. And what you want to do when you're scraping this out is just notice if there's any kind of big pieces that escaped the shredding portion of the program. And see, if you want to make sure that you got those all cut up. So what I do, and then there's always a couple pieces that end up on top, and so that's partly why I have my little knife here, is I'm just going to cut those up real quick. So that, and feel free to ask me any questions while I'm cooking. That's why I'm here, is to answer your questions. I am a health and wellness coach, and I've been writing the food blog. I just had my 6th year blogiversary, it's called, in the blogging world, which is amazing to me that it's been 6 years since I started Recipe Renovator. And it's been so fun because I've met so many incredible people through the food blog and getting to know readers and getting to know other bloggers and getting to know people in the health and wellness space. So that's been awesome. And I'm excited too because I'll have a book coming out next year, and I really hope I can serve even more people that way. So I've got my grated apple, my grated green apple, my grated golden beet, and my grated carrot. I'm adding now my ginger, my grated ginger, which the recipe calls for about a tablespoon, which might be a little strong for some people, so you don't have to go quite that much if you want to try it out first. And then there's a couple of other fun ingredients. So this is unsweetened flaked coconut. So you definitely don't want to add any extra sugar. The coconut and the fruit and vegetables are plenty sweet enough to begin with. And this does end up tasting a little bit like ambrosia salad, but way healthier because there's no junky ingredients in it. So it's a half a cup. This is the fine textured coconut, which is perfect for the salad. You can also use what you have as the larger flake. Totally fine. So I just like to sprinkle that over the top so that I get it, and then I'm just going to start kind of mixing this. And the next thing I'm going to put in is our optional sesame seeds. Now this adds some nice crunch and also a little bit of different texture and also protein, which I like to add as much little bits of protein here and there as I can. And seeds are perfectly fine on the migraine relief plan, whereas nuts can be problematic for people. So there's a lot of my recipes will use seeds to try to increase the protein content and also just really nice texture. Now you can see I'm already getting some beautiful variation and texture in there. If you use a red beet, the entire thing just turns red, which is totally fine. It's also super pretty that way. And then there's one more ingredient before we do sort of our little light dressing. So I'm using a cup of pecan pieces, raw pecan pieces. Now nuts are not on the migraine relief plan because a lot of people are sensitive to nuts. And so I would, in that case, I would toast up some sesame seeds, or if you like a completely raw salad, you can use the raw sunflower seeds. I said sesame seeds, I meant sunflower seeds. So that would be the swap I would do if you're following the migraine relief plan. But since I'm okay with nuts, I've tested them and they're fine for me, I'm going to go ahead and put pecans in because it adds a lovely crunch and additional texture, and just the pecan flavor with these vegetables and fruits really works well. It's just such a nice combination. And okay, and then our little dressing, very simple. It's 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, which is a very light, so you don't want seasoned rice vinegar, which has a lot of salt and sugar in it. You want just a plain rice wine vinegar, which has a lovely aroma that smells, I don't know, to me it smells kind of like an Asian restaurant because it has that quality of it. You know, when you have sushi, they often use this vinegar in sushi. Now, this vinegar is not safe on the migraine relief plan to start, but it's something that you can test. So I would use about 2 or 3 teaspoons at the most of regular organic white vinegar, which is the only one that's safe for the migraine when you get started. But then once you test it, usually clear vinegars are often fine for people. The issue with vinegar is that it's a fermented food, and a lot of people who get migraine are sensitive to fermented foods. And I am sensitive to some fermented foods because I do get migraine, but not that, so I'm good there. And then the last ingredient is 1 tablespoon of dark toasted sesame oil. And feel free to ask any questions on Facebook. That's the whole point of being live, and I'd love to answer your questions if you're watching and you're wondering about what I'm doing or have other questions about the blog or just sort of cooking in general. If I can answer anything while I'm here, that's what I'm here for. So thanks so much for viewing today. And also you can feel free to ask questions afterwards. If you watch it on the replay, I will come in and make sure that I'm answering any questions. So if you don't happen to catch me live today, you can feel free to do that later. Okay, so that is it. That is my very simple salad, and I'm going to go ahead and have a little taste. So I'm going to serve up a little bit here onto this plate. And so this would be a great side lunch salad. You can also kind of serve it as a dessert because, like I said, it does kind of taste like ambrosia salad. So I'm going to get just a little bite of everything. What I love about it is the crunchy texture. It's so fresh, it's so light. You've got the little sesame flavor both from the oil and also from the seeds. Daisy's come in to say hello. Daisy's our golden retriever. And it doesn't really taste like beets. It just tastes like a super refreshing fruity salad, but because everything is grated or shredded, it has just a different quality to it when you're eating it because of the texture of the shredded vegetables and fruit. So that's my raw beet, carrot, and apple salad. I want to shout out to my friends George and Tanya, whose mom was the one that gave me this wonderful recipe. And also remind you that if you're interested in migraines or you know someone who has migraines, generally thought that there's about 1 in 4 households in the United States that has someone who's dealing with migraine. Let them know about my book. It's available for pre-order on Amazon now, the Migraine Relief Plan. It'll be out in February. And you can find this recipe and over 325 other recipes on RecipeRenovator.com. Also, please follow me on Facebook, Stephanie Weaver MPH. On Twitter, I'm SWeaverMPH, and on Instagram, I'm Recipe Renovator. I'd love to see you anywhere on social media, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Facebook Live. Thanks so much.